Hi guys, my name is Cammie, and here into the greenhouse after we just came through a crazy winter type storm from temperatures of 16 degrees up to maybe 24 degrees, flexing with frost and hard frost and freezes and wind. The ground froze, but I have to say this greenhouse was a success. It was a little challenging after about 7 days of protecting these plants, and I'm hoping in this video it will give you some tips to help you have a successful greenhouse into the winter. This was a game changer. I'm so excited about it. I'm just going to give a brief walkthrough because I've been taking episodes every single day on what was going on in this greenhouse, but it made it through this crazy winter storm. And so this is definitely a game changer for frost protection, freeze protection. Thanks guys for watching. And so we'll continue on, watch to the end of the video so you can kind of see the steps and hopefully find some tips in this video that will help you into your greenhouse to be successful. Everybody I know greenhouse did not make it. It did not do that well. It froze, the garden burnt, my garden's burnt, and but in here it made it. So I'm so excited about that. Oh look, Jenna! Oh my goodness. That is a cauliflower.
Oh my god!
Oh, we just came through this frost and this freeze. Oh my gosh. They're wanting it. Don't open it up. They'll show it like that. Oh my goodness. That's the first time I saw it. Not even get and this is collards.
Here's some more things.
Tomatoes.
There's tomatoes. And here's some more. Oh, that big one right here.
That is a big tomato. And what is this right here?
This is cauliflower.
That is cauliflower and broccoli. What is this right here? What is that going to be?
A cabbage.
Exactly, a cabbage. Good job.
Here's some more cauliflower.
I think that was going to be broccoli. It looks like that's going to be broccoli.
Oh
my goodness! Oh, look at that little broccoli! Oh, let me see. Oh, this is surprising. We just came through this freeze and we got broccoli.
Another one.
Oh my gosh! Hey guys, welcome back to Never Alone Homestead. Today I'm working on frost prevention inside the greenhouse, 16 by 32 greenhouse that I got from Grower Solution. And we've got some cold, really super cold coming in. The temperature has been great into the greenhouse, but I did notice when I came in this morning, it was 40 degrees in here. And maybe because the wind's blowing outside, it's probably about 50, 53. It was 40 degrees in here. I could blow a little bit of smoke, and maybe because that was kind of weird because the day before it was 40 degrees and that wasn't happening. So I decided to cover these plants up, try to cover these plants up the best I can. I'm using PVC, and I've already got these cut. Now these were used PVC from a raised bed, so they was already bowed pretty much. But let me show you all the supplies that I have to continue to prevent frost into this greenhouse. I'm not sure if it's going to be 100% because I believe we're getting down 0.8, and that's not normal here on the southeast coast. Now I'm sure that can change. It might go up. Nevertheless, it's temperature that we're not used to experiencing, and it's going on for like almost a week. So that's very unusual for us. So let me show you the supplies I got ready to continue on frost prevention in the greenhouse. So I have a 1/2 inch PVC. There's actually 6 of them here, but one is shorter because it was used at some point in time. and I had purchased these a year ago, just in case I needed them. You will need a PVC little tool here to cut it and make it easier. You don't have to have this, but this makes it so much easier. And this is a cobalt, and it's 2 and 3. Looks like, well, I'll just show it to you, and that way you can see exactly what it is. They do make them smaller and bigger. So I started out to hold these PVCs 3/4 inch little 2-hole tube straps, and that worked great. But when I decided to go bigger, taller up, then of course you got more expansion, and at the bottom they didn't want to hold in as well, and so then I decided to go with these. I believe they're about 1.5 inches that and all this I already had 1.5 inches, and that helped out. So see, you see the 2-hole straps. I just screwed them in with wood screws. Now I just could have gone and put them on the inside, and later on my plants are bigger, I could do that, but these PVC was already bowed pretty much, and right now this is going to work. On this side with the pineapples here, and it is up higher, and the pineapples are bigger. This PVC is a lot bigger. Going with just a 2-hole strap down here was not going to hold it because it was too much pressure. Then that's when I came in with 1.5 inch 2-hole straps. This is my blanket plant cover. It's supposed to be for, you know, it's breathable, it's lightweight, keeps the insects and birds away. It also says it traps heat and moisture and shields frost and snow. So I have 3 of these. I believe they're 50 feet long. I've had those for a year. Now the thing of it is my plants are so big, and tomatoes, and so I thought, well, what I could do is drop these tomatoes. Hopefully they won't break. They're full of blooms, full of tomatoes. The potatoes are starting to lay over, and did kind of pull them away from the side. That's the thing. If they get too close to that side, that frost can burn them. Another thing I'm doing is, since I have the way I have built my greenhouse, I'm putting the PVC against the board there on some of them, and that helps out. I'm not putting the 2-hole straps on the other side. It's just being braced by the board back there, so that's helping out. And notice this one's crooked a little bit, and it doesn't matter because really that's kind of better to be away from that plastic, so I'm gonna leave that like that. I do have a couple heaters going on in here right now. Probably won't do any good later on, but right now, I mean, I got blooms all in here, oranges, lemons, and there's different ways to heat in your greenhouse, but this is one of the ways I'm going to try because this is a new greenhouse, new experience, and so I'm just gonna, this is thermostat control. Before I just had one, and I put a fan there to kind of cool that. Will it keep it warm in here? You know, that's one of those things to wait and see because it's going to get so cold. That's why I'm doing the frost prevention, and hopefully this will help me out. Once I put this frost cover blanket over this, I plan on trying to put some plastic on top of it, a row cover, this blanket here, blanket plant cover on top of it to help out. So they do sell this into rolls, and it's cheaper, and it's already kind of got its curve, so it makes it a lot easier if you can get it into a roll. I'm not sure if all these were in a roll. I think this one was. And the straight ones, once you put your 2-hole straps in, you're going to have to bend it. The hardest part is really getting your measurements of what you want. So with this being straight and this one being crooked, I'll have to take a measuring tape and figure out, you know, the measurements, because before I was using one as a, just as a, what do you call it, you know, just as a mold. I guess that's not the word I want to use, but, you know, just as an example, like this one, oops, excuse me, I'm sorry. This one is smaller, so I was using it as, so to my next one, I would just take put it on the side of it like this, and then I can measure the length I need, and it made it a lot easier than cut it with my tool. Since this is going to be straight, I'm definitely going to have to measure it, and then I'll just cut it. Even though this is holding it, I decided I already had these brackets that I believe these are 1 1/4 inch, 2 holes, and they're galvanized. The other ones are not galvanized. I believe they're stainless steel, but anyways, when I'm putting the cover on, I thought, well, you know what? I got these. Right now, I don't have any use for them, so I'm just going to use them up. And that's a lot more sturdier, and I feel good about that. Let me see if I can, yeah, down at this end, I'm probably going to have to put a 2-hole strap and see if I can bend this over. So the 2-hole strap is screwed in with wood screws, and see, that's another option. That was one of the ways I was thinking about doing it to begin with, but since I have a brace back there, at least at the other end, then I decided just to kind of go this way, and I'll end up using less 2-hole straps. Now I'm going to see if this is going to work without measuring this, and just see if I can just, like, I got to watch the plastic. Stick it in that 2-hole strap, push it down some, and see what my height is going to be when I put it in this other 2-hole straps. Okay, and that works out great. So as I'm doing this, I change things a little bit. I have conduit on the other side of this bed, electrical conduit, that's running back here at the end of the greenhouse. So I just didn't think it was wise me to take them. I'm not sure if I would have enough space for safety measures. I decided to take the 2-hole straps, galvanized, and put them at the top of the bed. Another thing I'm doing is that made it really easy. I went and got another PVC at my little stash, and this one's already been cut. So I just take the old one and I kind of line it up, to take my cutter and cut it. Really having to watch my plastic. And I'm sticking it down in the dirt. A little bit more challenging getting it in over here. Push it down in the dirt. Slowly bend it over. With time, this PVC will just stay bowed like this. With the heat, it'll stay bowed. Another thing I'm doing, since I have this extra PVC here that I'm probably never going to use it for anything, I can't think of anything to really use it for, to give myself extra security till this PVC, takes its shape, and plus this will give me extra support here on this bow. I'm sticking it down in that 2-hole strap, and some of them I had to hammer it down. It gives it a little bit more tightness there. Plus you got this edge out here. And since this one I didn't have to hammer down, I'm just going to bend this 2-hole strap just a little bit. Basically, I just want it to wedge in there to you know, to get it wedged in there to form a tightness to give me more security that this thing's not going to somehow fly up and hit the plastic. Now, I've done raised beds outside, never had that happen. But, you know, when you're dealing with plastic in your greenhouse, then you have to think a little bit differently. And so this is how I'm thinking. So that gives it a little wedge in there. And this is also when it's, the blanket goes over it, frost blanket goes over it, it'll still kind of be a little out right here, and that's going to help out. Now, another thing I'm going to do is behind these plants right here, I'm already started breaking off some of the leaves, and I'm going to give those to the chickens because they're leaning against that plastic. If frost hits it, it's going to kill the plants anyhow. It's going to burn them, or burn at least those leaves. And so I also noticed when I was back there putting in a 2-hole strap, which was kind of hard with all these plants in here, but I could feel the wind. So the wind is picking up. The temperature is dropping, so that's why I'm going to go, when I start putting this blanket over here, I'm going behind here, I'll break some of these leaves off and just give them to the chickens. So what I'm doing, I'm just taking, laying this out. It was 2-ply, stretched it out. I'm going to make it single. Now what I'm going to do is continue stretching it out, and then I'm going to put it behind the plants. I have some clips, if I can find them. Hopefully it will fit over these PVC bows now. And I'll put over that, I'm going to stretch it out, and then I'll be working on this bed, and as soon as I get this taken care of, then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I got side 1 done. And this row cover, a blanket, is about 50 feet long. This greenhouse is 16 by 32. So on the, it really covers a lot of area, but I put most of it on that side wall right there, down in there, to help shield that wind, and put the, you know, the extra, I could say, on that side over there. Just push it down in there, make sure I got behind the plants. And of course over here is higher up, and these pineapple are just kind of draped over. Push these pineapple away from the wall. I got them off Amazon, and they wasn't that expensive. They are Chinese, made in China, and so they kind of looked like they was going to be bigger than they actually was. So they could have been just a little bit bigger, but it ended up working. So I don't know how many clips was in this because it's written in Chinese. So anyways, these types of clips, let me grab one. So these type of clips, well, you know, it works. I had to go up under it to make sure it was cover on the sides. And what I need to do is walk outside and look outside, because my focus was to try to get as much on that side, in a sense, on that side. It was my focus, because a lot of cold air is coming in that way. This looks good on this side. Could stuff it down right there, over there, stuff it down in there. It looks good so far. Alright, yeah. Alright, that looks good. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you learned anything from it, you know, share this video. Yeah, I'm always concerned about frost prevention. But I did pull up the lettuce. My tomato plants, what I did is I cut the string and I just gently laid them down because they were taller. And you know, the lettuce was just before going out anyhow, so I just went ahead and pulled it up. So I came out here and I threw some 6 mil plastic over the top. One thing, because the condensation is coming from the ceiling. You know, the sun came out finally, and of course the greenhouse heats up and it always gets a little bit of condensation. Actually, it's on it now. You can see it. It's my fruit trees, and the thing of it is, if we were just going through one night, 2 nights maybe, we're kind of going through a whole week. And my concern is, and then plus I'll have to watch the sun, which means if the sun is out, then I'll have to come and definitely take this plastic off. The covers can breathe. You know, it lets air get it in and out, but that plastic would have to come off. So anyways, we're going to see how it goes, see how we get through this storm here, 5 or 6 days of it, and see how the greenhouse plays out. It's a good test. You know, only way to test something other is to do it. So stay tuned, and I'll let you know how this greenhouse plays out with this row cover and the plastic in the storm that we're going through. So, woke up this morning and we have no power. It's 19 degrees outside, and I got my Blue Yeti here, making my coffee. This is a little light that plugs into a regular light, so when the power goes out, you have some light. I can plug a light in this. Right now, my focus is charging my phone up and getting my coffee made. And the first thing I do is I go outside and I let the chickens out of their coop. And I had a light on them out there in the coop. I had a light with the dogs, and I had it set up, fixed up so that they'll stay warm. And I had a little heater running into the greenhouse, which I covered up with ground cover, not ground cover, but blanket cover and some plastic on top. And so it's going to be interesting to see how well it did. Everything's frozen, but I can't believe you get up the first night we have temperatures this low. We're going for like 6 days, and I get up and there's no power. So anyways, usually I had planned on getting, I tried to stay prepared. The only thing I didn't do is put some water in some containers. And my granddaughter came over yesterday, and when she left, I was taking care of the greenhouse. She came over. When she left, I was back out there putting some plastic over the cover in the greenhouse, the blanket, to cover the plants up, and putting the light in the chicken coop. Anyways, you know, getting wood in. The time I came in, I was just exhausted. And not only exhausted, I've been pushing it, you know, chopping wood, getting wood chopped, all this stuff to take care of before this storm comes in. And yeah, I hurt my back because I actually tripped over a log. So I decided I needed to rest. Some dishes are still sitting in the sink. I didn't get the water containers filled up, but I have a hand pump out there that I installed this year or last year. It was last summer. And that is, I can pump some water out of the ground. So the reason I'm doing that is so that no power, no problem. The animals can get some water and I can get some water. But usually I still fill up the containers. Well, I've got to get my coffee so I can wake up here. I do have a wood heater going. I just put some more wood in there. So I'm warm. And I just came, like I said, came from outside to let the chickens out because I know it's daybreak when I'm usually up before daybreak. But anyways, wow, I'm on the east coast of North Carolina. It's only icy outside. I don't understand why we don't have power. I've been hearing these things going around on YouTube about a dark winter, you know, and basically hearing about power outages, stuff like that. So yeah. So southeast coast of North Carolina, right now, we don't have any power. I did see on the Weatherman Plus, I think it was Weatherman Plus last night, that Georgia, South Carolina, surrounding states, New York, were out, thousands upon thousands and thousands of people was without power. And I was thinking, why are they without power? Okay, I get it. But I was thinking, why South Carolina? Why Georgia? And they're on the southeast coast, so I'm like, why Florida? I think some people in Florida. You know, I'm thinking, why is all these people without power? And then I get up this morning, which I would have been up really early. But I get up because I want the chickens to get out of the coop. I don't want them shut up in the coop. And I had my water dripping because I'm on a well water. So I instantly cut. I'm not sure how long the power's been out, but I instantly cut the water off because I don't want my pump, my well, to lose its prime. So I'm thinking other people's got their water running, probably sleeping. Then when they get up, if they're on well water, they'll have to prime their pump. And then I was thinking, what are they going to do if they don't know how to prime it? This says, enough. I got coffee. With this cold weather, one thing, because everything's iced up on the plastic. So my curiosity is to see these potatoes. All right, well they look good. They look really good. I'm excited about that. So we'll go over here and look. Down there's potatoes. So if those are doing good, I will assume those. If those are doing good, I assume those are doing good. This is my warm weather crops, and this is going to be a curiosity. Get it open. Let's look over here and see what's going on. Okay. Well, that is squash, zucchini, and squash down there. I believe yellow squash, onions. And so it looks good. They're a little wilted, just a little bit. That's because it's cold. So, so far this is working. So everything is looking good. That bush should be planted outside, but I haven't got it planted here. I think it's an elderberry. But house plant is doing good. Everything looks good. So far it's working. That's ice. So I'm not going to touch it very much. It's all iced up. And this one says it's 39 degrees in here, which is awesome because it's 20 degrees outside, which is a little bit lower, but at the very end it says it's 39 degrees. So this is the broccoli and the cauliflower. And this cold has really knocked it. And I just didn't have time to cover it up. These are my potatoes. So far they're making it through this cold. Icy. Just icy falling down. Really icy. And the potatoes, you know, they look good yesterday. And they look better down there. As far as plant wise, they have like an icy, like they frost on them. So that one down there doesn't look too bad, but I would say these are shot. And I'm trying to get the camera down there. That's the thing, it's frozen. So if you're wondering if you could grow potatoes in the fall, you can if you start them earlier. I wasn't going to do these potatoes, but I had some extra potatoes. They were sprouting, and I wanted to give it a go, and it was doing great until this type of weather came through. Okay, we're at day 3, 16 degrees outside. I haven't been in here this morning. And kind of shut the door. So yesterday I had to take this plastic off because of condensation that got up under this plastic. And so I lost my potatoes in the garden for the same reason. And so anyways, the day before it didn't do that. I hadn't had any problems. But yesterday it did. Right now there's condensation, of course, falling because we've had a hard freeze last night. Yesterday was a lot of look up everything frozen. And so now I'm going to see how this is going to do. Only had one heater going in here, and that was that one. And I'm going to give it a break, so I'm going to cut it off. Still have the fan running. I did come out here yesterday once I realized there's condensation up on that plastic. It's going to be on that blanket, and I was worried about it freezing and then touching the plants. So wasn't sure, you know, I've never used this blanket before, so I really don't know. There's some condensation on there right there, but you know, I just don't know. I mean, it's one of those things that I didn't want to learn the hard way. So I did come out here and cut the fan on to help with this condensation, help move the air through here. Even though I had this little fan, I had this still going. I cut it off, give it a break, and I cut that one on low. And of course the plants love that, and to help with this condensation. It's not going to be no higher than, I think, 42 today. I just don't want to take a chance of condensation getting under that plastic. I had to turn the plastic over, and then I had to kind of get it rearranged in here. And if I just it was a little bit difficulty because my focus was getting behind on this sidewall here, keep that air from and frost and whatever coming in on that side right there. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna wait a little bit, because this condensation, the sun just came up, this condensation is falling, and I think since there's no condensation yet, I'm looking to see it just a little bit right there, and all this condensation is falling. I don't want it to fall onto, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I really don't want it to fall onto this blanket down here. So I think what I'm gonna do is wait a little bit, let the outside temperatures warm up a little bit more, and then see how these plants are doing. But for now, I'm going to take a sneak peek and see how they're doing. This is a tomato plant right here, so we're going to see how it is. We'll see how it looks. This one, here's what I got laying down. I do see humidity on the plants, but so far the plants look good. So that's another reason. The tomato back there looks good. That's another reason why I want to take this plastic off. I'm hoping it'll dry up some, but you know, if not, I just have to lay it out like I did yesterday, and a little bit later cut the fans on, or cut the fan on. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and give this one a break because of the motor wise. Now, these heaters, I have to say, these space heaters, now it's working in here. 16 by 32 greenhouse. It's working in here. The temperatures we've had it's been crazy. But you have to make sure, you know, safety's first. Make sure that it's operating correctly. You want to feel down here and see if these things feel really hot. If they do, that's, you know, that's not good. You don't want to feel like it's like hot. I mean, you don't want a fire in your greenhouse. This one, yesterday, I checked it and I unplugged it. I'm not sure if it's a little bit, it was hot. I'm not sure if it was like that before, but this end was hot, and what it was plugged into was hot, and I instantly unplugged it. I can get a good picture of it. When this gets hot, to me that's like a warning. 16 degrees, only this heater was running, and it feels pretty good. Let's check the temperature. The temperature in here is 44 degrees on that one. Down here is we'll get a little bit of sun. And it says 46 degrees. These are my potatoes. And so far they look really good. I'm so excited. So we got probably 3 more days of this. So we're on day 4 and I just uncovered a plastic. It was 22 degrees last night according to my thermometer outside. I checked with a weather channel. I checked my my phone app. I checked with Alexa. Alexa said it was going to be 16. Weather channel said 24. My app said 23. My thermometer outside said 22. So I decided to do that because I was thinking, you know, temperature, a couple of degrees means everything. And it can mean anything that could happen to your greenhouse or to your garden. And so with curiosity, I just want to make sure that, you know, what the temperature was so I can judge it in the greenhouse. Now right now everything stayed pretty warm. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I checked the temperature outside before the sun came up. So right now it's 42 degrees in here, which is awesome, right? Better than before. So every day, literally with this greenhouse, it's been something different. 9 o'clock, almost 9 o'clock in the morning, before I took the plastic off, I noticed condensation, which means heat was generating inside, making condensation up under the plastic, when yesterday it was 12 o'clock. Now, yesterday, everything was great, okay? Temperatures was 16 in the morning, 16 overnight, and went down to 16 overnight, and 16. Today, when I checked my thermometer, it's 22. But today, everything's different than yesterday. And the day before, it was like everything froze outside, and you know, every day's just been different. So I came to check ladies off because I wanted to see, because yesterday when I checked up underneath it, everything looked great. Now I took it off, I noticed a little bit of damage. Weird. But I think I figured out the problem. When I put this plastic back on, which is, once you take it off like this, it's kind of, you have to spend a little bit more time, so these are different size pieces. And if they were just all one shape, that'd probably been a little bit easier, but these are just leftover plastic, 6 mil from this greenhouse here. And within that, I said, I'm going to use that 6 mil, that's good. Put it over this cloth. But the thing, my problem is, I believe my problem is that every day I had made sure this roll up sides was, that plastic was pushed down to help protect that airflow, that cold from the plants. And yesterday I didn't do that. I was in a hurry, and I had to come out here and cover it up. I wanted to get it some heat to generate the thermal mass to generate up under the plastic a little bit before the sun went completely down off of the greenhouse. So let me show you a little bit of damage. Let's take a look at these plants. Day 4. I think we got 2 more days of this weather, and then it's going to, you know, be okay for a little bit, I think. And, you know, I say I think because we never know what it's going to do. And then it's going to step back up again. But let's take a look at the plants, day 4, and see what's going on in this greenhouse. Like I said, I believe one of my mistakes, because my squash got hit on the side, is because I didn't go outside and look at the roll-up sides and see if that plastic was pushed all the way down. Okay, the plants on this side look good. No damage. I did notice the aloe vera, it looked like it on the very top, but pineapples look good. These 2 squash down here never look good, and I can see some legginess, but they never look good. I don't know what the problem is. I haven't checked the pH. This is a tomato that's voluntary that came up from the worm castings. I planted this cabbage from the garden before this cold weather came in because I knew it wasn't going to make it. That's a cucumber. Of course, it's not going to generate, it's not going to grow hardly fast at all, but it's still hanging on. And this is where I noticed the damage, just onto the sides. Fine yesterday, but today on the sides, that's a little wilting there. This one looks okay. So that's telling me that plastic is helping. That cover would not be enough. The plastic does help. You put this over, if you got severe weather, putting that plastic over did help. And it also depends on how your greenhouse is built. These are roll-up size, the plastic, the wire, hardwood wire to keep insects out. And as you notice, the plant is close to that. So yeah, so that I learned from that. These are the onions. They did great. On this side of the squash, did great. On that side, didn't. And I'm like, man, why didn't I go out there and just check that? But this is a good experiment that I was thinking right, to make sure those sides that's closer to the outside is protected more. So on this side, it looks okay. On that side, it's wilted. Potatoes, I'm still holding on. Finally noticed some wilting right here. That's from the cold. And I must not did too bad over here, but I do notice some wilting right there. And man, you know, it's so frustrating when you've done, you know, doing this experiment, trying to see how things go, learn from it, and then you see some little bit of wilting, and you realize, okay, I messed up. And it's definitely on that side right there. It's got some wilting going on. Now on the outside here, this wasn't covered up as much. You see the wilting? That plastic in the blanket did help out. It really did help out. So that's telling me when this is actually a cheaper I would say model type blanket cover for frost and insects and stuff. But it doesn't say on there what is the protection rate as far as freeze or frost. And it did not say anything about freeze. It just says shields frost and snow. But how much protection would it give or get? And I did my experiment looking, and I didn't see really, you just can't count on this row cover. It's depending on your weather. This blanket here. A little bit of plastic over it, unless you have some good heat generating. Excuse me. So, once again, it's weird because, you know, every day's been different. On this side, on the top, I see some. Now, it's a possibility that I could have made a mistake of covering it up a little bit too soon and letting that heat generated up under that plastic, that moisture, and then the cold came and it damaged. That's pretty much what's telling me here, because usually I would wait till that sun gets off of this greenhouse, but yesterday I did it differently, and so I would definitely learn from that. The blooms are still holding up. I just got that damage. So 2 things I'm learning from this. Number 1, the plastic did help. So number 2, make sure it's down over those sides that will help keep the cold off of these plants. And the cover surely did help to help hold in the thermal mass that's coming from the soil. Now, it's still damp, which is good, which the soil and the moisture will produce that thermal mass up under. That's why that condensation, sort of part of the reason that condensation was coming also from the sun. So potatoes are still holding on. Yeah, so sometimes you just got to experiment and keep an eye on things and see how well it does. This has definitely been a learning process, but the number 1 thing I learned is that to keep an eye on this greenhouse, because every day it's changing. Every day it's not the same. So you cannot just say, okay, I got my plants here and it did well yesterday, I'm not going to worry about it today, because that's not the case. Obviously, into this greenhouse, a 16 by 32 from Grower Solution, that's not the case. You know, every day was different. Just like our weather, every day is a little bit different, even though we might think it's the same, when in actuality, there's a difference in it. Is the wind blowing? Is the wind not blowing? That plays a vital effect in your greenhouse. Like, I keep this fan rolling, or maybe the bigger fan, to help with the condensation, to keep the airflow moving and not it being still. Number 1, I would wait, make sure the sun is just, you know, gone over and gone down, and before I put the plastic over it. Number 2, I would definitely put plastic over it and not rely off on these blankets here for protection. It might be good for insects, but you know, I have a lot of thickness on the side of the sidewalls, and it still got hit. Number 3, make sure that that plastic is further down. Walk outside and make sure it's down, behind this cover here to help give some protection, since these beds are closer to the outside. But one of the things I learned from this, the whole entire time, it has not been covered up. It's just been sitting here into the middle. So that's definitely telling me about the sides here, that cold coming off, radiating outside. Okay, we have gone through 6 nights of cold weather. Today, every day's different in here. On the sides, there's ice on the sides today. Yesterday it was just frost. Today is ice. I uncovered the plants partially, not on the sidewalls, for the fact that there's ice on the sides. I'm trying to give it still a little bit of protection. The sun just came up. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Now I planted these, I put this plastic over these beds on December 28th. No, I'm sorry, December 22nd. We are now December 28th. So these plants have gone through 6 nights of various temperatures, very cold temperatures. So I don't see any change into the plants since yesterday. Everything still looks the same. That squash took a hard hit yesterday night, not last night, night before last. The potatoes are still holding on. I had on the side here some row cover, some of this black stuff, landscaping cover, because moving this plastic, sometimes you just can't get it back in the right place. But I do still see some cold effects. As it could be just because it was leaning on it. It seemed like there was a little bit of frost on that landscaping there. And the reason I use that is because it seemed like moving this plastic around, it's kind of like, since it's in pieces and different size pieces, it was making it a little bit difficult. But I did make sure this time I got the plastic on the sides, the roll-up sides, all the way down. So with the ice on the sides, I think that was the reason it affected these squash, because it didn't affect it on the outside. It was definitely on the inside. The house plant is still doing good. Of course, it's in the middle. So my conclusion of this, these are the potatoes, and they're a little wilted, which I had this cover laying over them with no plastic. So my conclusion is that this frost blanket is not enough. It does help. I mean, anything with a little bit more protection, it holds that plastic off of the plants, because if ice gets on the plastic or freezes, then that's going to be touching your plants. So the blanket did help. I just believe it needs the plastic over it. Our temperatures tomorrow night is getting down to 35, so we're finally starting to rise. So was this a success? I would say what we had to deal with in this weather, this was a success, especially when you're dealing with a summer type crops. So I'm so glad these potatoes have held on. The broccoli, the cauliflower, the tomatoes are still holding on. They're still looking good. The blooms are still holding on. Let's think it. The blooms are still holding on. The fruit is still holding on. The collards are still holding on. Of course, they'd be more colder. This is tomato I laid down. I see the blooms are still holding on. The fruit tree's blooms is holding on. So I have to say this was a success, and a little challenging, but what would make it easier, once again, is having plastic that will measure all the way on one side at however tall that you have your PVC, and going all the way over, and definitely use this row cover or blanket, frost blanket, to help keep that plastic off of, you know, keep that plastic off the frost so the condensation or any moisture gets over there and freezes. On this thermometer right here, it says it's 46 degrees.
And here's Jenna. We are in the greenhouse right now. Then we're gonna go check on the garden. Then we're gonna go check out the eggs laid again. It's not kind of fun. It's kind of when we have. No, you're out of the video.
I'm out of the video.
But we are having a very Merry Christmas. The Christmas went over.
Christmas is over.
Yeah.
And now we're stepping into Happy New Year.
No, get out of the video. Get out of the video.
Stop it.
Wait, Mel not video sheet is out of video today. But she's right here real quick.
Hey guys, welcome back to Never Alone
Hey,
Homestead.
You're not talking. Well, I close my mouth right now, but let's see the coordinates. Okay?
Okay.
Let's see.
What?
Is the line later? Here is our strawberries. They are growing. Is there filmed? These are blooms.
Yep, they got some blooms on them.
I'm supposed to be talking. This is blooms. And they're supposed to draw some big strawberries. But there's nothing right here, so come on, guys.
And what is those right there?
These are plants.
No, these are potatoes.
These are potatoes. And we love gardening. And some are carrots. Come on, guys. Follow
So
me.
tell me, has it been very cold?
Yes, it has.
Oh, there's a ladybug right there.
There.
Let's see if I can find him in the camera. Come on this side. Let's see if I can find him. You see him right there?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Don't touch it. No, leave him there. Let him stay there. That's a good thing.
I'm going to pet him.
You're going to pet him. Don't mash him. So the potatoes did pretty good, didn't they, Jenna?
And here is some mushroom carrots.
No, that's not mushroom carrots. That is squash.
Here's squash right here. Come on,
A little
guys.
bit of damage
Follow
from
me.
the cold.
Here's some
The sun just came out,
mushrooms.
so we're just checking to see how these plants are doing once the sun came out. Jenna, check this out. There's a bloom down there.
Where?
Right there.
Where?
You see that bloom?
Where?
See that? It's going to make a squash. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
This.
Yeah. That is cool. So what is
And
this right here?
This is cabbage.
Exactly right. And what's this right here?
This is a
Cucumber.
Cucumbers.
And yep, there's some mushrooms in there.
And here is some pineapple.
This one did get hit a little bit. Pineapple is exactly right.
This is pineapple.
Pineapple.
Then we're going to go right here across. But I'm small, so I can get through.
And what kind of tree is this right here?
This is, let's see. This is an orange tree.
Exactly right.
It's going to go oranges on these blooms right here.
Yep.
And then
got
this
blooms on
is
it.
a lemon tree.
That is a lemon tree.
And they had blooms right here.
Yep. Don't pull them.
And then these are lemons.
Lemons, right?
And then we're going to get through to this next. And here's some 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ow! Ow! Ow!
Uh-oh, camera hit you. Oops, I about went down. Okay, so
I move this.
what is this right here?
I'm sorry.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. I know.
Tomato?
Tomatoes.
Yep.
And then here are some squash.
That's collards.
Collard. And some more
This is
collard.
laying down because I'm having it covered up.
And then
Oh, look, Jenna. Oh, my goodness. That is a cauliflower.
oh my gosh!
Oh, we just came through this frost and this freeze. Oh, my gosh. Is there one in it? Don't open it up. They'll show it like that. Oh, my goodness. That's the first time I saw it. Let me see if I can get the camera down.
I see.
And this
And
is
here's-
collards.
And here's some more things.
That's tomatoes.
There's tomatoes. And here's some more. Look at that big one right here.
That is a big tomato. And what is this right here?
This is cauliflower.
That is cauliflower and broccoli. What is this right here? What is that going to be?
A cabbage.
Exactly, a cabbage. Good job.
Here's some more cauliflower.
I think that was going to be broccoli. It looks like that's going to be broccoli.
Oh
my goodness! Oh, look at that little broccoli.
Oh, it's bristly.
Oh, let me
Let's
see.
see about it.
Oh,
I found
this is
another
surprising.
I
We
found
just came through this freezer. We got broccoli.
I
Oh my gosh! Oh, it's so excited. It's a little broccoli.
Here's a really little one. Right there.
Oh yeah, they're coming out. Cool. There's one. Oh my gosh! Because I lost all the broccoli into the garden.
That's a little one. Big one. It's a little one.
Oh, praise God.
No, here's another. Oh, that one's still growing.
Yep, that one's still growing.
I can eat.
Don't pull it open. That might be a cauliflower. If it's closing up, it's a cauliflower. Yep, I believe that would be a cauliflower. It's kind of closing. So what is these?
These are more potatoes.
More potatoes. Exactly right.
Now look how big this one is.
Yep. Cute little cauliflower. Oh my gosh. Amazing. It came through frost, freezes, different types of weather. The coldest weather, 16-degree weather in here in this greenhouse.
Yes.
16, 18, 22.
Yes.
It's going to get down to 35 tonight.
Yep. And where this.
And you can hear the fan. I've got it blowing. I like to keep airflow in here. That's some
Here's
broccoli.
Broccoli and brock.
Let's see what this looks. See, it's don't pull on it. It's still falling out. I think they're going to be okay.
Ow.
Your camera. Your head hit the camera.
Some broccoli. Still growing out still.
I noticed that these broccolis folded together to protect itself, like that.
And
So I did get some damage on the outside, but maybe it protected enough on the inside.
More guys.
Oh, they're looking good. They're not looking bad for all what they went through. Oh my gosh.
I'll see you in our next video. We are going to go to the doctor's office, but we'll see you later on. See you. Peace out, Girl Scout. Chill out.
I have to say, it has been a determining situation, and it has been a game changer here onto the homestead. So the questions I have here, I was asking myself, trying to test out to see what works and what doesn't work. The questions I had was, how can I keep my greenhouse warm? How can I keep my plants from freezing? Will my plants be okay from frost and freeze? Of course, we've had both of those. Yes, and cold. Will the outside cold kill my plants?
No. Yes.
How can I prevent the cold from killing the plants in the greenhouse? And so these are two secrets that I have that has kept this greenhouse going. It was a game changer. So Jenna and I, you want to stand up, Jenna?
No.
She wants to talk. Jenna and I have took off the plastic, we took off the clips, and now we have not looked up under here to see how these plants are looking, because last night it said it's going to be like 35. It ended up being, by my thermometer, 28 degrees here into the homestead in my region of the Zone 8 on the southeast coast of North Carolina. So Jenna, you ready to take this blankets off of these plants and see what they look like? You ready? Okay, I know you're ready. Okay, I put the tomato plants back up vertically. And actually, more blooms came on through this frost and freeze. Cauliflower grew. See how green they are. Tomatoes stayed on and starting to turn a little bit. Lots of tomatoes. Tomatoes actually started multiplying. There was a little bit of frost the last night. Hit it just a little bit on the side. So you got to understand, it might not be 100% proof, but it's well worth trying. Broccoli, cauliflower. This is totally amazing to me, is my potatoes. So excited about these potatoes. Houseplant, made it. Of course, the strawberries did excellent. Houseplant took just a slight hit, but it's okay. These potatoes over here got hit a little bit harder. I didn't have it completely covered with plastic. I had this stuff on it, which is not frost, totally 100% frost protection. You see where it was covered, they did great. Squash did get burnt. They were fine one night, and next night, I mean, it did make it through the 16-degree weather, but then it was just, I think at one point I didn't have it covered down there in the back with a plastic, and I think air seeped in. A bloom did produce. Cucumber held on. Cabbage is doing great. That kind of got burnt some, and then of course the pineapples. Fruit tree, this is 2 days later, still holding on. The bloom is, where is that bloom? There it goes. Bloom is still holding on. Found a couple more blooms. Lemon tree did great. It's blooming out. It smells so good. That one bloom was there before this storm came. It is still on there. Lemons grew. Basically, I wanted to get through this little bit, experiment, and not have too much in here, and then to have a really disaster.